5th of December 2024. Glad to have you on board from Somalia's premier #1 station for news and updates, Dalsan TV. We're broadcasting to you live from Somalia's headquarters, Mogadishu. I'm your presenter, Abdurrahman Yusuf. Tonight, we have quite a full bulletin prepared for you, but lovely views. Kindly first, let's take a look at the stories that are making our headlines. Al-Shabaab defector denies combat involvement as Puntland court proceeds with case. Jubaland warns federal troop deployments could spark conflict in Ras Kamboni. Somalia evicts families from Soviet-era Kalunka neighborhood in land reclamation effort. Somali government repatriates 161 Somali youths stranded in Libya. Somalia participates in COP16 conference in Saudi Arabia. Glad to have you back. Now let's delve into a full bulletin. Jubaland leadership has warned that the federal government deployment of troops to Ras Kamboni risks igniting fresh conflict in the already volatile region. Speaking at a press conference in Kismayu, First Vice President Mohammed Said Aden called for the immediate withdrawal of the forces and emphasized the need for dialogue to avert potential crisis. Aden accused federal government of acting with political motives to facilitate security transition from the Africa Union Transition Mission in Somalia.
Jubaland's leadership has warned that the federal government's deployment of troops to Ras Kamboni risks igniting fresh conflict in the already volatile region. Speaking at a press conference in Kismayu, First Vice President Mohammed Said Aden called for the immediate withdrawal of the forces and emphasized the need for dialogue to avert a potential crisis. Aden accused the federal government of acting with political motives to facilitate a security transition from the African Union Transition Mission in Somalia, ATMIS. The Vice President detailed a litany of issues tied to the federal troop deployments in the Jubaland, including accusations of looting, civilian harm, and a lack of discipline among soldiers. He revealed that some troops had already faced trial in Jubaland's military courts for misconduct. Jubaland's Vice President Mohammed reaffirmed the state's commitment to supporting constitutional reform and preparing for one-person, one-vote elections nationwide. He called for a transparent and inclusive process that engages civil society organizations to ensure broad participation in shaping Somalia's democratic framework.
Puntland's military court has indicted Ali Mohammed Sani, accused of involvement with Al-Shabaab forces operating in the Galgala Mountains of Bari region. Sani allegedly participated in battles that led to casualties among Puntland forces. The suspect denied charges, claiming that he had defected from Al-Shabaab when he was attempting to reunite with his family in the region. He admitted to joining Al-Shabaab 8 years ago and being stationed in Galgala Mountains, but refused allegations of active involvement in the combat.
Puntland's military court has indicted Ali Mohammed Sani, accused of involvement with Al-Shabaab forces operating in the Galgala Mountains of the Bari region. Sani allegedly participated in the battles that led to casualties among Puntland forces. The suspect denied the charges, claiming he had defected from Al-Shabaab and was attempting to reunite with his family in the Gedo region. He admitted to joining Al-Shabaab 8 years and being stationed in the Galgala Mountains, but refuted allegations of active involvement in combat. Puntland security forces apprehended Sani at the Northern Control checkpoint in Galkayo city as he was en route to Garbahari town in the region. Puntland court is continuing its investigation and hearing in the case. Further developments are expected as proceedings unfold.
The Somali government has evicted dozens of families from Mogadishu's Kalunka neighborhood, a once prized Soviet-era housing project, leaving residents grappling with uncertainty and no clear path to resettlement. For many of the displaced families, the government's decision feels abrupt and harsh. Established in the late 1970s in the Kalunka neighborhood, was built to house Soviet advisors assisting Somalia's coastal development project, symbolizing the era's international alliances.
The Somali government has evicted dozens of families from Mogadishu's Kalunka neighborhood, a once prized Soviet-era housing project, leaving residents grappling with uncertainty and no clear path to resettlement. For many of the displaced families, the government's decision feels abrupt and harsh. Established in the late 1970s, the Kalunka neighborhood was built to house Soviet advisors assisting Somalia's coastal development project, symbolizing the era's international alliances. After diplomatic ties with the Soviet Union deteriorated, the homes were reassigned to Fisheries Ministry employees, marking a new chapter in the storied history. The evictions have polarized public opinion. Supporters see the move as necessary to reclaim state lands for development, arguing that residents benefited from the decades of free housing. Critics, however, accuse the government of failing to offer human solutions, calling for a more compassionate approach to resettlement. The Kalunka evictions are part of a more extensive government campaign to reclaim public land across Somalia. The strategy has sparked nationwide debates about the trade-off between urban development and social welfare.
The Federal Republic of Somalia successfully repatriated 161 Somali youth stranded in Libya through the Voluntary Humanitarian Return (VHR) program in collaboration with key international partners. The operation, facilitated by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation under the leadership of the Foreign Minister Ambassador Ahmed Muallim Fiqi, is a significant milestone in addressing the challenges of irregular migration and protecting Somali nationals abroad. The Federal Republic of Somalia successfully repatriated 161 Somali youth stranded in Libya through the Voluntary Humanitarian Return (VHR) program in collaboration with key international partners. The operation, facilitated by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation under the leadership of Foreign Minister Ambassador Ahmed Muallim Fiqi, is a significant milestone in addressing the challenges of irregular migration and protecting Somali nationals abroad. Of the repatriated individuals, 74 have returned to Hargeisa and 87 to Mogadishu, where they were welcomed as part of Somalia's broader effort to support reintegration and recovery. Ambassador Miriam Yassin, Somalia's presidential envoy for migrants, returnees and children's rights, emphasized the importance of the initiative in restoring dignity. The European Union Ambassador to Somalia, Karim Johnson, and IOM Somalia Country Director Manuel Marquez Pereira were present to witness this landmark effort. Both commended the Somali government's proactive measures to address immigration and foster sustainable reintegration. This initiative comes amidst ongoing global challenges related to irregular migration and displacement, with Libya remaining a critical transit hub for thousands of migrants. Somalia's leadership in this operation underscores its commitment to humanitarian principles and international collaboration in addressing migration issues. Into an interesting story where the federal government of Somalia's Environment and Climate Change Minister Ambassador Khadija Ahmed Makhzoumi and the Livestock Minister Hassan Hussein Mohammed are in Riyadh, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, for the International COP16 conference. The conference opened on Monday, 2nd December, with major political and financial commitments to strengthen drought resilience worldwide. Negotiations on a global drought regime are set to dominate the conference of the parties to the United Nations Convention to combat desertification. The federal government of Somalia's Environment and Climate Change Minister Ambassador Khadija Mohammed Al Makhzoumi and the Livestock Minister Hassan Hussein Mohammed are in Riyadh, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, for the worldwide COP16 conference. The meeting began on Monday, December 2nd, with significant political and financial commitments to increase drought resilience worldwide. Negotiations on a global drought regime are expected to dominate the conference of the parties to the United Nations Convention to combat desertification. Parties meet to solve one of the world's deadliest and most expensive calamities. The participation of Somalia in the global conference underscores the country's commitment to supporting international efforts to address the challenges of climate change and focus on strengthening environmental resilience to ensure a sustainable and inclusive future. The COP16 conference presents a significant opportunity for Somalia to showcase its dedication to environmental issues and enhance international cooperation in combating climate change. Drought, intensified by climate change, and unsustainable land practices has surged nearly by 30% in frequency and intensity since 2000, threatening agriculture, water security, and the livelihoods of 1.8 billion people, with the poorest nations bearing the burden. Lovely viewers, that's all we had prepared for you tonight from our desk in Mogadishu. Wish to thank each and every person who made this news edition a success, and you, a lovely viewer, wherever you're watching us from. Have yourselves a lovely night and be blessed.